So hi from the farm. We have been here on our property now for 3 months, and it's crazy to think about how we got here, but we're here. And this is the story how. So back in March, they actually decided to go ahead and deliver our house. It was March 30th, my birthday, the day that they pulled in and delivered the house. But there was still no road. It was just that the ground had dried out enough that they could get the house up to where it needed to be. So we couldn't move in because we couldn't get to the house, but they were able to use their track vehicles and actually move the house up to the part of the property where it was going to be installed. And so even though we got to see how pretty the house looked up on the hill, we were still waiting on a road, and it seemed like the running joke, we're waiting on the road, we're waiting on the road, we're waiting on the road. So Easter passed, and then they started the road, but there was an awful storm and there was a lot of flooding in the area. And so not only did it, mess up some of what they had done and flooded our area, but it also made the ground so wet that they couldn't work again for a long time. My son's birthday we had in the camper, and Mother's Day we had in the camper. And slowly things started to progress on the property. And then one day the water came in and they dug the water pipes and that got turned on. And it got to the point where it was just like one step at a time. The only thing we were waiting on was the electricity. And the day that the electricity went on, we were actually in contact with the people who were selling us the home. And they said they wanted to come make a special trip to come give us the keys and hand everything over on that day that they turned the electricity on. So that was mid-April. And then we spent the first few months basically focusing on the house and getting all of our stuff out of storage, going through what we had and trying to find where everything was going to be rehomed. I did a little bit of put my touches on things the way I liked to, and really just focusing on settling in and getting to know our own land. The deck was the smartest thing that we have done so far. I think it pretty much gave us an extra 700 square feet of outdoor living space, and it is covered, and we sit out here every morning and every evening, and it's a respite when I'm working on the property. So after we got everything settled inside, we really started turning our attention to the outside. Our first priority was the chicken coop. But then there was some projects that were going to affect how I ran the farm, and yes, I do call it a farm, that I wanted to get up right away. So I put up my clothesline and I put up my compost pile, and then we started turning our attention towards the property. We were like, okay, time to start cutting this lawn. And we first cut it with a push mower and quickly realized that that was going to take up all of our time. So we did end up investing in a ride-on mower, and I think it's my husband's favorite part of the week is when he gets to ride the ride-on mower. We had the whole property bush hogged, so cut down, so that we could see what wild grasses are growing on our property, and we could see what grasses would come up from that, and that would allow us to know the best places to put pastures for when we're ready to start pasturing animals. We had somebody come out, an orchard specialist come out and tell us the best place to put our peach trees, which we're ordering this spring. And then also my agriculture agent came out and told me, kind of the best places to put my vegetable garden. So when we had the property bush hogged, he turned over a large square area for me to eventually turn into a garden, and I went ahead and decided to turn it into a fall vegetable garden. So the vegetable garden has been pretty much taking up most of my time as far as projects go, trying to get the vegetable garden in time that I can get some yield from it before the first frost. And hopefully from here on out, my videos are going to be about my projects, and I can show everyone in a little more detail some of the things that we're trying. Everything that we're trying, we're taking from YouTube or from people who have done this before, trying to teach me how to do it. It's also a culmination of just trying and failing and getting to learn our property and getting to learn this way of life. This seasonal rhythm has really become my favorite part of this experience. So I'm excited to share and document along the way so that people can see that you can do things that you don't know how to do.